I used to think hotel noise was just bad luck. Some trips were quiet, others were awful, and I assumed it was thin walls or noisy guests. But after enough stays, I realized something important. It wasn't the hotel, it was the room location. Rooms near elevators sound convenient, but they're some of the loudest spots in the building. You hear doors opening, people talking, luggage wheels, sometimes late into the night. Ice and vending machines are another surprise. They don't just hum. They attract people at all hours, which means constant noise. And then there's floor choice. Lower floors pick up street traffic. Top floors often hear mechanical systems. In my experience, middle floors tend to be the calmest. The biggest change for me wasn't luck, it was how I asked. Instead of saying quiet room, I started being specific. I asked for a room away from elevators, ice machines, and street-facing sides. And I repeat the request politely at check-in. Once I started doing that, noisy hotel nights pretty much stopped. This is the foundation for getting better hotel stays. And everything else builds on it. Now that you know why room placement matters, let's talk about when checking in actually works in your favor. For a long time, I thought checking in early gave me an advantage. I figured the earlier I showed up, the more options the hotel would have. That turned out to be backwards. When you check in early, most rooms aren't ready yet. Housekeeping is still cleaning. Maintenance is finishing up. And upgrades haven't been released. So what usually happens? You get assigned whatever room happens to be available, not the best one. I learned that hotels actually finalize room assignments later in the day, once they see who didn't show up and where they have flexibility. In my experience, the sweet spot is mid to late afternoon. That's when more rooms are ready. Upgrades are more likely. Specific requests actually have a chance to be honored. Another thing I do now is this. If I arrive early, I don't rush the desk. I let them know I've arrived, ask them to note my room preferences, and then I leave my luggage and come back later. That way, I'm not forcing an early assignment that I'll regret. Once I stopped pushing for early check-in, my rooms quietly got better without paying extra. Now that you know when to check in, let's talk about what to say at the front desk and what to avoid. This part took me the longest to learn because it's not about what you ask for, it's about how you ask. I used to walk up to the desk and say things like, "Can I get an upgrade?" Or, "Do you have anything better?" Most of the time, that went nowhere. What actually works is being specific, polite, and realistic. Now, I don't ask for a better room, I ask for a better location. I'll say something like, "If possible, I'd really appreciate a room away from elevators, ice machines, and street-facing sides." That gives the front desk something concrete to work with. I've also learned that timing and tone matter more than status. Front desk agents are juggling arrivals, housekeeping updates, and guest issues all at once. When I stay calm, friendly, and flexible, they're much more willing to help. One thing I avoid completely now is comparing myself to other guests. Saying things like, "Other hotels always upgrade me," or "I'm here all the time," usually backfires. Instead, I focus on appreciation. A simple, "I really appreciate anything you can do" goes a long way. Once I stopped treating check-in like a negotiation, the whole experience changed. Now that you know what to say at check-in, let's talk about the mistakes that quietly ruin hotel stays after you get the key. Once I started getting better rooms, I realized something else. Even a good room can turn into a bad stay if you make a few small mistakes. The first one is ignoring where the noise actually comes from inside the room. I used to leave the curtains open and the TV off, thinking silence meant quiet, but light and hallway noise still woke me up. Now, the first thing I do is close the curtains and turn on a low, steady background sound. Not loud, just consistent. It masks random noises way better than silence. Another mistake I used to make was leaving the "Do Not Disturb" sign off. Housekeeping carts, knocks, and hallway chatter start early, sometimes earlier than you expect. That little sign buys you uninterrupted rest. I also stopped cranking the thermostat all the way down. Extreme temperature changes make hotel rooms noisy as systems cycle on and off. Setting it a few degrees higher keeps the room more stable and quieter. And finally, I check the room as soon as I walk in. Loose fixtures, rattling vents, or humming fridges don't fix themselves. If something's off, I ask to move rooms early, before I'm settled and exhausted. These aren't big changes, but together they completely changed how well I sleep in hotels. Now that you know how to protect your room once you're inside, let's talk about the biggest mistake people make when something isn't right. This was a big lesson for me, knowing when to ask for a room change and when it's better to stay put. Early on, I'd try to tough it out. I didn't want to be difficult, so I'd convince myself the noise or issue wasn't that bad. Almost every time I regretted that decision. If something is wrong right when you walk in, a loud hum, strong odor, rattling vent, or obvious noise source, that's the best moment to ask for a move. It's early, you're not unpacked, the hotel still has flexibility. I've learned to treat the first 10 minutes in a room like a test window. On the other hand, once you're settled in, bags unpacked, clothes hung, chargers plugged in, switching rooms becomes much harder and often not worth it unless the issue is serious. Another mistake I used to make was waiting until late at night to complain. At that point, options are limited and everyone is tired. Now, if something's off, I address it early and calmly. I'll say something like, "I just checked into my room and noticed some noise from the unit. Would it be possible to move while it's still early?" Framed that way, it's not a complaint, it's a solution. Once I started doing this, I stopped losing sleep over avoidable problems. Now that you know how to choose, request, and protect a good room, let's pull everything together. Once I stopped treating hotel stays like a gamble, everything changed. Better sleep didn't come from better hotels. It came from better decisions, made at the right moments. When you understand where rooms are located, when assignments happen, and how to ask for what you want, hotel stays become predictable instead of stressful. None of this requires status. None of it requires paying more. It's just about timing, clarity, and knowing when to act. Before you book your next stay, run through this quick checklist. If this helped you travel more comfortably, like the video, subscribe for smarter travel tips, and save this checklist for your next hotel stay. More airport and hotel strategies are coming next.